Welcome to Indigenous Superstars with your host, Rhonda Head.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Indigenous Superstars. Welcome to, I'm coming to you live from Opaskwayak Cree Nation. I'm currently in Big Eddy right now, the heart of OCN. So tonight I'm going to be interviewing my 55th guest. Yeah, or no, 56th guest. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm really excited so the show is still going on. Twice a week. I've been interviewing really amazing, awesome guests for the past since April, since right when COVID started, and that's when this idea came about. And I decided to interview some really awesome musicians, and now I'm expanding out into other areas, and there's so many artists with Indigenous people. And I'm starting to interview people in the powwow trail and people who Indigenous designers. So my first Indigenous designer I'm interviewing on Thursday. So I'm really excited to have her on the show. That's her company's called Red Berry Woman, and her garments that she makes are so beautiful. But tonight I have a really special guest. I announced that I was going to interview her today. That's Marianne Patrick, and immediately it went crazy and viral on social media. And Marianne messaged me and said that the her social media was going crazy too, and everyone's excited that I got Marianne to be my guest tonight, and I'm looking forward to having a conversation with her. So I'm just gonna bring her on screen. Hello, Marianne.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good.
That's good. So I was just telling the audience that when I announced that I was going to be interviewing you, that it just went crazy. It went viral. People were sharing the post and commenting, "What time is the show on?" And so they're really excited that I was going to be interviewing you tonight.
Yeah, that's really exciting for me because I didn't expect to ever be on your show, let alone be called a superstar.
Well, you know what? There's so many in the Palo Trail that we have because I belong to the Palo Trail too. I dance as well, and we have our own stars, right? Our own celebrities in the Palo Trail, and when because I belong to that circle too, I wanted to start highlighting the dancers and the singers and the people who do the artisans that do the beadwork, the MCs, because it's such a beautiful way of life, and it takes so much stamina to learn how to dance, and to me they're like our Olympians. So they're in our circle. There is superstars in our circle, and I'm really happy that I interviewed Ruben last week, and you're the first female and you're the first female dancer and beadwork. And I know we have I have lots of questions to ask you, and I know you have lots to share with me.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having me on your show. And yeah, you're blazing the trail here with, showcasing all our artists, models, singers, dancers. It's really good that because, like you said, we do have our own celebrity. We have lots of celebrities amongst us. So thank you for doing this.
You're welcome, and I'm really excited because it's going to keep me busy, even more busier, because we do have a lot of Indigenous musicians, but there's also different genres where our people are excelling and have excelled, and I wanted to expand into the Powwow Trail too, so that we can document our stories and highlight our Indigenous people who are important in the Powwow Trail. So Oh, my sister's commenting. She goes watching Janet. Janet, she said hi, Marianne, and she's sharing to all her Facebook sites.
Tell her I said hi. Hi, Janet.
So I'm just gonna let the other audience members tuning in. If you want to make a comment on social media, I'll post it up on the site. And if you have a question to ask Marianne, I'll relay it to her. So thank you for tuning in. So I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, Marianne. What inspired you to get into dancing powwow?
Well, long ago, when I was small, like a toddler size, I remember traveling. My parents were going to powwows, and I remember going to Newtown powwow. And back then, that was a long trek. And I remember, like, because from Pipestone, Chinoopa First Nation to Newtown is like 3 to 4 hours. And I remember we would stop before the border. We would stop at this town on the way. It's called Melita. And my parents would shop for groceries. And then they used to have a favorite stop just before the border. There was tall trees. And they stopped and they rolled everything out. Next thing you know, there's a fire going. And my mother was cooking, and she had real plates too. And she would cook up a big storm, a big meal, and then she would feed us all, and then packed it all away, and away we went again. That was our halfway stop, and then we would go through Minot, pick up a few more things, and on to Newtown to their powwow. That was a major trip back then. And then later on, I remember going to places like Standing Buffalo, and those hills, they look like mountains to me. That's how small I was. And it was a dream to go up there. And then later on in life, I got to climb up there and realize it wasn't a mountain, but nonetheless, that's what powwow people did when they went to a Standing Buffalo, is to go climb up on those hills and look on down to the powwow grounds. So
Awesome.
along the way there, I saw dancers. I saw different categories of dancers, and the ones that mesmerized me were the fancy shawl dancers. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out what they did with their feet to move that fast. And they looked like they were floating. They looked like they were flying. And back then, they were not dancing anything like today. It's high stepping today and high flying. And back then, they were closer to the ground, and there was footwork, and it was the footwork that just mesmerized me. And it became a mystery. How do they do that? It became a mystery. And then one of my cousins, one day we were gonna figure this out. I don't know how we did it, but we got some footsteps in, and the rest is history.
That's so awesome.
That's what inspired me, is fancy shawl dancing.
I remember when I started going out to the Palo Trail. When I joined the Palo Trail, I remember you were dancing fancy that time too, and you were one of the champion dancers in the Palo Trail. So it was a real pleasure to watch you dance, and healing myself too, watching you dance. So thank you for sharing your dances with us on the Palo Trail.
Thank
And
you.
then you moved on to women's traditional.
Yeah, I danced fancy for most of my life, and I lived for fitness. So eating healthy and keeping fit just to go be able to dance at the next powwow was a passion. And so I used to run long distance in school, so I carried that on. So I was running during the week and then dancing on the weekends, and I did that throughout my whole life till my knees couldn't do it anymore. So I took up walking for exercise, that was difficult to do for exercise. And then I had to resort to biking next. So I went through all those stages, my knees deteriorating, and then I did some alternative treatments. So that got me going, and then okay, I wanna dance again, but I didn't know what. I knew I couldn't dance fancy. I just didn't want to go there, and then we went to Indio, California, and you know how it is. Everywhere you go, there's competition, and then suddenly there's nobody in that category. So that Friday night, there was only two women traditional dancers, and I traveled there with Lisa Ewok and our late sister Yvette and my niece Jessie. We traveled there, and they said that Saturday morning they said, "Oh, we registered you. You're gonna dance." Lisa was saying, "I have my traditional outfit, and you're gonna dance with those women." I was just told I was registered. So what do I do? Okay, you know. So I was wearing this short dress, wearing a short dress, and I was out there, grand entry, just walk through, and it's like, how do they wear these dresses? It was so heavy. And grand entry was over, and I was looking for my seat right away. So I go sit down, and then this lady was right behind me, and she came and stood in front of me, and I kind of looked at her and was wondering what she was doing, following me and then standing in front of me. And then she said she was from, I think it was some powwow committee at Big Bear in California, which is in the mountains on the southeast, no, northeast of Los Angeles, up in the mountains. And she said, I brought my powwow president here for, she wanted to find a head lady dancer. And so I brought her here for the grand entry, and she looked at all the ladies dancing, and then she chose you to be her head lady dancer.
Oh, wow.
And so we exchanged information, and then she left, and then I was bragging up to the sisters there that I just got out there, and then I got a head dance gig. So then, in order to prepare for that head dance the following year, I had to make my own outfit, my own traditional dance outfit, because I wasn't allowed to just put the dress away and walk away. How many powwows Lisa showed up? Here, you're dancing.
Well, that was meant to be, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's how I started off. And then that powwow was coming up. I had to have my dress done. So we got it done. And I remember I'm going to have to tell this story, because if I don't tell this story, Lisa Meaches is going to get after me. That's another story. Another Lisa. So anyway, the dress was done. My new dress, it was that gold dress with it's done in 2-cut beads, so it sparkles, and it had all those horses on there. So I'm sitting inside the van, and I didn't want to come out because I was like, this dress is too much. This dress is too beautiful. I can't wear this. I didn't feel myself worthy of something so beautiful. And Lisa was there. Lisa Meaches. She literally dragged me out of the van. And because this was Sunday evening, final grand entry, I didn't wear that dress. I wore the blue dress, Lisa's dress. And then everyone was waiting for me to change into this new dress for a contest. So I changed, and then I wouldn't come out. I refused to come out. So she finally got me out, and then she said, hurry, get out there, because your contest is going to be on. And so I'm taking off, and then I said, wait, I have to go see my sisters first, because both my sisters were there. And so we went over there, I had to show. I was the little girl to them. I was the little sister to them, and that's just how they treated me. And I had to go show them my new dress first. So we went to where my sisters were sitting, showed them the dress, and then okay, now I can go dance. So then we went to the MC stand, and then it came in from behind, and then I couldn't go out there again. And I literally got pushed to go out there. And so I remember walking into the dance floor, and the arena director was just running by, and he just went past me, stopped dead in his tracks, took a few steps back, looked me up and down, and he took off again.
Well, that's awesome. That's a good sign. I
Yeah,
remember that dress. It's very beautiful, and
yeah,
I'm glad Lisa pushed you and your sisters encouraged you, and that arena director did a double take.
yeah. So that dress went around, made it went to the head dance gig in California, and we were over there, and we stayed up in cabins, and that's the year that what's his name, Mike Tyson. He was up there training, and
Oh, wow.
he was, he was famous for that ear biting, right?
Yeah.
So then we were like, Mike Tyson is here, because we were told, and we were like, we went like this, covered our ears. Right away, we covered our ears. I
Good
remember
plan.
my youngest son was with me that time, and we went up to we were there early that Friday, and we went up into the powwow ground, and we were like, I don't know, 4 hours too early, and there was not a soul there, and nothing was in place, it seemed like, but they were all prepared. It's just that they had those canopies. They had a circle of canopies. That was their arbor, and my son was like, is this going to be a powwow? I said, yeah. And he looks around and he says, where? I said, in the middle. And he says, oh, you're going to dance out there? Yeah, that's how they dance over here. So we were there for that event. And then I don't know if we passed Mike Tyson anywhere, because he was there training right at that same town
Cool.
that
Well, you
time.
still have both your ears, so
Yeah,
that's
I have
proof
both
you
my
didn't see him.
So then that dress went around all over powwow country, and then we went to the famous Skimitzen powwows, and I was really fortunate because I was able to capture the trophy over there. The guys have it here somewhere. They
Oh,
wanted
nice.
My grandsons wanted me to show
Beautiful.
show off
Beautiful. Yeah,
my
that's great. That's beautiful. What category was that for?
it was for Northern Traditional.
Nice.
Yeah, so we brought a trophy home, and that dress went around for a while, and then my knees gave out again, and I couldn't dance anymore. So I stopped for a while again, and then did some more alternative treatment, and then I went on to when I was feeling okay to dance, I went on to jingle and danced jingle for a while, and did well, and was fortunate that way, that going into different categories, I did well, and I'm really grateful for that I'm able to dance in the three different categories. And then I remember we were at Yorkton powwow in '07, and I seen this little shawl at a vendor, and that shawl just attracted me. And all I wanted was that shawl, but I didn't have the money for it. I didn't have cash on me. And then there was a jingle dress special. So we were dancing in there, and here I got, I placed in it anyway. My first thought right away, I'm going to go get that shawl. So I go buy that shawl, and it's just a small shawl that you could just kind of put over your arm, kind of a shawl. And meanwhile, at that powwow, there was a fancy dance special, and people were asking me, "Are you going to dance in there?" And like, no, I because that year before, I did dance fancy at one powwow in Saskatoon. They had a category called original fancy shawl category, and I never danced in there. And then Lisa Ewok again, she said, um, "You haven't. We all won that category already. You haven't won it yet. So come and dance in there." And so I did go, and here I was. I had to make a whip up a dress every morning, just to like a tea dress, just to have a different dress every category. And lo and behold, I was fortunate. I won. So then I told Lisa, "There, I won. Now I can go back to Jingle." So anyway, back to Yorkton. Um, one of my friends. I don't know if I should be naming names here, huh? Because I was posting earlier, said I might be telling a story about you.
Help
but,
people that can be
but
acknowledged.
yeah, my friend Dorothy, she lured me to her RV, and she says, "Here, try this on." She kept throwing these long tea dresses at me because she was one that asked me if I would dance in that special, and I said no. I said I don't have anything. I I jokingly said all I have is a shawl. Here she was trying to suit me up for a dress, and then she had this kind of a moss and bronze two-tone satin dress. That dress got me because it matched that shawl, but I just fell in love with that dress, and I said, okay. So here, take the dress. So I took the dress, and then when time came for that fancy shawl special, this is a regular fancy shawl special. This is not original style. This is not old style. This is fancy dance special. All the big names are out there and everything. And so I got ready, and I was sitting in that hockey player's box. What do you call those places?
The penalty box.
Yeah. And they're rattling out how the songs are gonna go. 2 songs this and 2 songs that, and the last song is whatever. And I thought to myself, that's 5 songs. What makes me
Wow, that's a lot.
what makes me think I'm gonna dance 5 songs? I just sat down and gave up. I'm just sitting there. And then my next thought was, well, who said you're gonna make it to the finals? Because it's 2 songs to move up to the next group, and then 2 songs again, and then 5 finalists are gonna be for the 5th song. And then I realized that, like, oh geez, yeah, okay, yeah, let's go dance these 2 songs. So I get myself ready and I go out there, and it was who was singing High Noon, and I think it was Whitefish Juniors. High Noon was one of the drums anyway. So we danced 2 songs, and then I'm standing there, you know, hurry up and pick your dancer so I can go sit down, and then here somebody comes. Like, oh my God, I can't dance 2 more songs. Somebody get me a bucket of water here. I had people giving me water. They must have felt bad for me. I was hoping they had an oxygen tank there too. So anyway, so 2 songs went by, and I'm standing there like, oh, I want to go sit down. You just pick your 5 dancers, and I'm out of here. I'm standing there with my eyes closed, and I could feel something on here on my shoulder. And I had my head down, and I looked, and here I was picked again. I was like, are you serious? Are you kidding? So the 5th song was I can't remember who it was. So we were out there dancing, and I'm standing there just sweating profuse, like I'm just wiping my face. Somebody's giving me water, and I'm standing there with my head down, and I look up, and all these women judges were in the middle. You know how they stand in the middle, and then that AD takes off running to the MC, and the MC announces, "They want one more song." Are you kidding me?
Oh
One
wow.
more song, and they said they want straight and fast. Well, I'm out of here. I can't do another fast, especially a fast song. I no, I'm gonna go sit down. I'm standing there. Then who starts singing? High Noon. And you know they got these original songs, right? And it's like, okay, let's dance the song. It's High Noon singing. So I'm out there. I'm just giving it, and then song was over, and I'm definitely had my eyes closed, and I'm ready to fall. And I'm standing there. It's like I wish they'd hurry up and pick their winner so I can go sit down. And I could feel presence around me, and I kind of opened my eyes, and I seen somebody walking by, and then I felt something on my back, and I looked up, and here they were putting a star quilt over me as the winner.
Oh, that's awesome. That's an awesome
Yeah.
story. That's
So
awesome.
I had my little shawl all this time, and then that next morning, I ran into committee members, and they said the reason why we asked for a 6 song fast is because we wanted to see who is still doing footwork. So I've always shared this to friends who are fancy shawl dancing, encouraging them, do your footwork, do your footwork. So something
That's
we
right.
learned. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Thank you for
that's
sharing that.
that's my dancing story of my life, and I
Is-
haven't danced for a long time now, and I I'll update you on my dancing here on your show. That this week I've had some unfortunate news about my knees. That my knees are officially done, and I need to move on to some serious treatment, or I'll be in a wheelchair within 2 years.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Um, and I just wanted to let the audience know that dancing is really hard work. You have to exercise, you have to run, you have to lift weights, and you're constantly moving and training all the time because when you get out there to go and dance, maybe it's 3, 4, 5 minute songs, and that we're dancing 2 songs out there, and it's lots and lots of work, lots of stamina and strength, and it it's a huge physical activity, and that's why I say that you guys are our Olympians when you guys are out there dancing, and you just keep on going. And I'm so happy you shared that story with us,
Yeah,
and yeah, and then there's a lot of people commenting on there. Trisha Withorn said, "Yes, you are the champion of champions, and you're legendary." Janet, my sister, said, "Wow, thank you for sharing that beautiful story." Trisha also said, "Prayers for you, Marianne," and Janet said, "Prayers for you too."
yeah.
And
So just
I'm having prayers for you too.
yeah, a quick message to all the dancers. Diet is important. Cutting out sugar, grease. Um, Diet is really important, and you can take weight off without exercise by what you eat. Because I've been there. I've done that too. So take care of yourself. Exercise. There's ellipticals. There's bikes. You don't have to be running 6 miles a day, because that's really, really hard on your knees. And then we don't have to be, we don't have to put ourselves through that, because later on in our lives we come to this. And I'm fortunate that other than my knees, my health is okay. So take care of yourself for your knees. Take care of your knees. So
That's very good
my,
advice.
that's the uh, story of my dancing.
That's a great story. Thank you. And I was reading some of the comments on their social media, and one of them was you went on one of the great adventures that you went on was that you got to perform at an Olympic event. Can you tell us about that?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I I went to Red Lake, Minnesota powwow for one day, and as soon as I got there, I just went to look on, and one of my friends said, they're looking for you. You need to call this number. So I called that number, and sure enough, I was on a list to go dance for the Summer Olympics in '96 in Atlanta, Georgia. And I was really surprised. And yes, yes, of course I will. So I got flown out there. It was nice flying first class, and it was just a first class event. And here that group was called Discover Native America, and there was a lot of powwow dancers from the trail that were there, and we all gathered, and we had a great time. We really had a great time because we all worked together and we enjoyed each other's company. We went through the routines and stuff, and we all knew what we had to do. And um, we went in like grand entry style. The men's traditional went on first, and the women's fancy were the last ones to perform. And we did like 4 shows a day. It was grueling. We had to get up real early and get on, have our breakfast, get on a bus, and go down to the site and get to our spot and get ourselves ready and be ready for the first show, like 10:30 or whatever. It was a morning show anyway. Then two in the afternoons and then one in the evening. And it was, the setting was inside like a big top tent, and the audience came from all over the world, and it wasn't like a packed event all the time, but there were spectators there that were flowing steady, and there was always people there from all over the world, and from the states too. There was whoever was at the Olympics taking in the events. They also came to our event and watched us perform for them. It was it was really an experience, and we were there for like 4 or 5 weeks for the whole duration of the event of the Olympics, and then I was flown back again. Um, I flew back with Preston Paggi. He's from Dakota Teepee. He was the one of the men fancy dancers and also the hoop dancer for that event. And I remember he and I flew back. We were sitting first class, and I remember there was some. I don't know what it was like on the ground, but we were told that there was some ferocious storm going on in between. I think it was probably around Minneapolis, above northern Minnesota, because the plane had to go east. I don't know how far east we had to go around this ferocious storm, and then finally we went around and made it back to Winnipeg, and I could see from up there that storm. That was something to see. But the event itself was, like I said, it was, we got to see a lot of some of us had chances to go to the sporting events, and I remember going to a basketball uh, game and saw some of the world famous basketball players. I can't even
Cool.
remember their names. And then I was also there when what's his name? That Johnson guy, Ben. Is it Ben Johnson from Canada? Remember he got caught with steroids or something?
Oh yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah, I was there when that happened. And then uh, over one of our break sessions, I went for a quick walk. I went to get something and I didn't take my camera. And here I ran into um, I'm missing names here. um, the guy from Rambo, the Russian boxer.
Oh, okay.
Name
I
again?
can't remember his name.
What's his name? Help me out, guys! My audience left. Anyway, that guy. He was.
Okay, I know who you're
He was.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but I can't recall his name offhand.
I think they
Yeah.
call him Drago in the movie. But
Yeah.
anyway, he was a coach for one of the
Oh,
U.S.
okay.
Teams. I think they were rowing or some U.S. team. Anyway, he was the coach, and here he was. This real tall guy was standing at the intersection that where the lights, waiting for the walk sign to go on, so he could cross the street. And I'm standing there next to him, and then I thought, oh, this guy is kind of tall. So I looked up. I looked up at this guy beside me, and then I looked away and it's like, hey, this guy looks familiar. And then I looked at him again, and then the light must have changed because he started walking away, and I'm like, there's that guy. I didn't have a camera. I have
Oh,
a camera every time. That one moment, no camera. Jeez. Yeah.
so some of the powwows that I've attended where you were at, you're always doing beadwork of some sort. Can you tell us about the beadwork that you've done?
Um, you know, I started off when I had my son, and I just stayed at home. So that's when I was beading before, but not when you're just at home not doing anything, then you kind of up your game and bead more, and you want to do more. So that's how I got started, because I was staying home with my baby and raising him. So that's when I got into uh, beading for others. And then I want to share one special story here. um, I used to have a store. Um, there's lots of handicraft stores nowadays, and I used to have a store too. It was called High Eagle Trading Post, and it was our our logo was one stop shop powwow supplies, and we carried everything, even hackles for fancy dancers and pendletons. But we carried the beads, the threads, the leathers, the whatever, crow beads, pony beads, ribbon. We had it all, and I used to take it to powwows. And I had an RV, and we used to go to powwows. And then people were asking for a coffee, so we had a coffee pot happening. And then they're looking for something to drink, so we had uh, a pop happening, coffee and pop. And then some are like, well, you should bring us something to eat. So that one summer we served foot long hot dogs. And I just recently told this to my grandsons, and I said, I did that. And you know what? I had all kids with me, and we did the grand entry. Everybody, all the kids were dancing. There was like 6 kids that traveled with me and my baby, and we all made grand entry. I said, I don't know who was minding the store at grand entry. I don't know who was taking care of the baby during grand entry. but we did it. We did it, and so I was saying that I I had the pleasure of starting that, and I was really fortunate to have that experience. So I had all this. When I got out of it, I got out of it for health reasons. I had a family member not well, so that that little my little business stopped. So I had all this leftover stock, and I had a some beads that the bag broke, and they were all in the bottom of the box. And one night there, I was cleaning up, and I put all those beads in a bowl. It was like a big fruit bowl, and there must have been like maybe 4 or 5 bags of those beads, and they were turquoise, like the color of my shirt here. And that time, um, Lisa Ewok was in my life already, and she wanted me to make her an outfit because she was going to go to Miss Indian World. So that particular night, I'm sitting there going like this, playing with the beads. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was amazed with how they sparkled falling. So I was playing with these beads, and I could see a dancer in there spinning around, and that dancer had on like a harness, but it was a lady dancing fancy, but she was wearing a harness, and I was like amazed with that. So later on, to make the long story short, that's how Lisa's very first outfit that we made her came to be. I used those beads, they were this color, my shirt, and she had the very first harness style. She went to Miss Indian World to compete, and she won. And the rest is history for her dancing. And to this day, um, she comes she comes to us to get a new outfit. So we did most of her sets, and I'm just amazed at. We make her an outfit. It's so beautiful. I can't see making something better than what she's got until 2 3 years later. She'll come back, and then it just falls together for her again. I'm just amazed at how these designs are falling together for her. The colors, she would say, just make it. You know what you do best. Just make it. And she's not the only one. There's other sets of beadwork that have come together. Actually, a lot of them they just kind of fall into place on their own, and I've been really fortunate that way that these outfits, the designs, the colors, they've been coming together not for me, but for the dancer. It's about the dancer, their spirit to dance. That's what it's about. It's not me to sit there and design it. It's somehow it just comes for them.
Yeah, Lisa's outfits are incredible and they're really beautiful. And I wish I had a picture to show, but I could probably post a photo on Indigenous Superstar because I seen one of her posts recently with her outfit is so colorful and vibrant and it's really beautiful. And she's wearing that harness that you're talking about.
She's got a
So,
new one again. We
oh, yeah.
made her a new set that's yet to come out. So
Oh, well, I look forward to seeing it.
yeah, when COVID is out, she'll be out. She'll be out with that new set. I'm just so anxious to see it when all this is over because that's a nice set.
I look forward to seeing it. So not only are you a champion dancer, a legend in the powwow trail, and a beautiful you do beautiful art with your beadwork, but you also have a ranch with horses. Can you tell us about your horses?
Well, um, I recently posted a picture of my son Jay, and I took that picture about, I don't know, 2 3 weeks ago, where he was actively involved with that one day. You know, actually, I think it was Christmas Day that we went out. We had Christmas for for our horses. We decorated the barn, and these guys grained them. They gave them grains. You know, it was their Christmas meal. So we were all out there, and he was out there too. Jay was out there too, and I took some pictures and then I posted them, and I said, "He who brought horses back to his community." And what I meant by that was when he was 5 years old or around there, he wanted horses. So we bought him ponies, and then later on horses. And I think the last time he rode was he was still a teenager, and he hasn't ridden since. And so these horses have come and gone uh, in our lives, and you know, life goes on. You have sometimes you have tragedies happen, and um, horses also come and go. And we had a thoroughbred operation here at one point, and that's what uh, um, my grandsons wanted uh, to share. I don't know if you can see, but this picture right behind me. Can you
Mm-hmm.
see
Yep.
it? That's
Yep.
Secretariat, and Secretariat is a world famous thoroughbred horse. He's a legend, category of his own. And I took that picture. I went to see him, and the reason why we went to Kentucky is because we already had racehorses, and we ended up with we claimed a horse at the Assiniboia Downs in Winnipeg, and here he was a grandson of Secretariat. And
Oh wow.
yes, I don't know if you can see this picture here.
Yeah, I could see it. We could see it.
His name is his official name is Gay Fandango, and oh no, that's his sire, but his official name is Centripetal, and I just called him Penny. I used to like calling him Penny because he was the color of a penny. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, so yeah, they came through our lifetime here, and different times there's been horses here. No matter what happened, and the horses, I've let them go, but the horses would enter back into our life again. And this last time, um, I lost two brothers in 2014 and 2015, 8 months apart. And you know, uh, grieving is really it can take a toll on you. And over time, I've let everything go. All the horses, they all went to therapy homes, and then the equipment. You know, we had a 4 horse trailer. We've had large trucks. We had all the equipment, and we reached a point where there was no longer anything here, and life went on. And we did memorials every year for my brothers. And after the last year, the 4th year, I had said we're going to do a memorial ride for my brothers in their 4th year memorial. And so it happened, and we had to get horses, and we couldn't find any horses to buy. And so finally, I said, well, horses will come. And I think about a month later, um, 2 horses came. thanks to Chief Dennis Meaches, 2 horses came, and that was the beginning. And we tried to uh, buy horses from horse people, and for some reason they weren't working out. And so these horses came from Chief Dennis Meaches, and that was the beginning. So we were starting that wheel again, and horses started coming on their own, and now we have 8 horses, and 3 of them are ponies. And but right now it I I just feel like we're being taken on this horse journey by my brothers, because things have been falling into place. The grandsons have stepped up, and they're old enough now to take care of horses. They're old enough to ride on their own, and they've stepped up and they rode in those memorials. And really good things have happened. We've had blessings since then, and it seems like there's more and more people coming all the time. I'm getting calls, people wanting to come here to see the horses. They want to be part of the horse program. And then the ponies came into play for some reason. Ponies, I got one pony, then another one came, and another one came. And people just come here and they just fall in love with these ponies. And it's therapy. You know, there's people here in this community who would drive by, stop, there's a stop on the road just to look at the horses, and that's their therapy. They
That's so
feel good.
awesome.
They feel good after watching the horse for however long they're there. And right now, that's where we're at. We're sharing our horses, and um, I know we're gonna have so many people here after COVID is over. And I
I'm
posted
one of them.
on Facebook. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Me and Janet will be there.
yeah, yeah. I know that we'll have a lot of people here by that time. Hopefully, this COVID will go away um, by soon. Go away, COVID. Go away, because we have a
Yes, I agree.
yeah.
I totally
And
agree. Yeah.
yeah. So um, what can I say? You know, these horses have been our they've been guiding us, you know, on a horse journey. And we're honored. We're honored, and to be chosen that way. Because
That's
if not,
wonderful.
if yeah, and if not, what would we be doing right now? Every day is um, work for the horses. They got to be checked on. I wake up in the morning, I count horses, and then these guys wake up, and they go out there, they do their thing. And no matter what we do, our plans, they all evolve around the horses. And there's a COVID going on. We're in total quarantine right now. And but here at White Horse Ranch, nothing's really changed, because we still wake up and we have the horses. We can go outside, be with the horses. Um, yeah, I don't know what we would do without them, especially during this time of pandemic.
Yeah, you're so lucky to be with horses, and I wanted you to talk about your ranch and the horses that you have and that ride that you've been going on. And I want to thank you for sharing all your wonderful stories and your wisdom and your when you were a champion dancer and the advice that you've given to upcoming dancers. And thank you for sharing all your stories. And like I said before, I decided to expand to powwow people because they have such amazing stories that need to be told and to be shared. And I want the show to document like all the stories that you shared is so wonderful, and the people that are commenting, they loved what you had to say, and there's so much respect for you from in the Powwow Trail, and then the people tuning in. And I want to really thank you for taking the time and talking with me. I know you're a little bit nervous about it, but you did a great job in sharing your story and your wisdom and your knowledge. And like I said, I'm gonna keep recruiting more dancers because I want to hear their stories. And so this is just the beginning. And thank you for being the first dancer to share with us. And thank you so much. I love you. And Kasagi Tin. I can't wait till COVID is over. It made me want to get ready to dance again. I'm getting a dress made too, and I can't wait to sit with you and when we're allowed to go and dance and when COVID is over.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody's waiting. Um, I have a request from somebody to share a story of theirs. Do we have time?
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. And this is a kind of a funny story. And it we were at the casino powwow, and you know how after the powwow is over, everybody goes to the buffet at the casinos on the stateside. So um, this was at the Spirit Lake Casino. We were trying to go to that deli, but it was closed. So then we went to the buffet, and there was I'll name names here because we get there, and there's Tony Wawiatin sitting there, and with friends, and he's waving at us, eh? So we walk in, and the other families were Doug Schofield and his wife Josette and their sons, and the other family was Rod Achenham, his wife Candace, and babies, and then I and Gordon and grandsons. So we were kind of following them, and we were a large group, and we just kind of walked in, and we see Tony sitting there, so we're gonna go join Tony. So we all went that way, and it was late, so we knew we had to get our food right away. So everybody just loaded up, and we're all sitting there eating and loading up, and then suddenly we realized that the place closed, and there was no cashier. It's like, well, how do we pay then? Well, there was no cashier, and the buffet staff, they were being helpful. They were moving things around and waiting on us. And then um, this woman walks in with a security guard. She was walking towards us, and we were all like, "Oh no, we're in trouble. They're gonna kick us out because we're not supposed to be in here. This place is closed, and then we didn't even pay." So we all just sat there, and then we all kind of put our heads down, and they were looking for somebody, and they're kind of walking around us, and we didn't know what to say. And then I think it was Doug that started talking to that lady, and here that lady said, I guess I don't know what happened at the deli, but they came to apologize. And I don't know why she was with a security guard, but they came to apologize and told us to enjoy our evening. And then they left again. And oh my gosh, we were all so relieved because we thought we were going to get kicked out and that we didn't pay. We all laughed. And to this day, we still laugh about it. And they said, we got to tell that story about the free buffet we had.
And then they apologized to you on top of it.
Yeah, really. The buffet people, they were like, because they have to throw everything out after, right? And I think they were
Right.
happy to not throw out so much food. They were just encouraging us to eat more. So there you go, you
Well,
guys. Share
now
your
we know the
story.
trick to go. Now we know the trick to go to a buffet when it's closing
Yeah,
for
that's
a free
look.
meal.
You get in there, slide in through those doors, so you get a free buffet. So there, Doug, I shared your story.
Okay, Marianne, thank you so much for being on the show tonight and sharing all your stories. They're all great, and everyone tuning in, I'm sure they look like they really enjoyed the stories that you shared and your knowledge as well. And my next guest is on Thursday. She's from Newtown, North Dakota. Maybe you know her. She's an awesome fashion designer, Norma Flying Horse, and she has her company's called Red Berry Woman, and I'm really excited to have her on the show.
Oh,
And
awesome.
I can't wait for you to see her design. She's a real, very talented Indigenous designer. So and stay safe, stay healthy, wear your mask, social distance, sanitize your hands. So let's get this COVID over with, so we can get back onto the powwow trail, right, Marianne?
That's right. So yeah, wear your mask, wash your hands, and stay home. Don't go out unless you absolutely have to. And thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much.
Very glad to have you on.
Tune in again next time when Rhonda interviews another up-and-coming Indigenous superstar. Only on Indigenous Superstars.